In our examination of narcissistic personality disorder, we might find ourselves in the same predicament. We had certain experiences, but not others. We read about red flags, which we did not, in retrospect, observe. We tried to create a template, essentially an overlay or a map to explain what we went through, the how and why of what happened. It is a struggle to understand, but it is worth the effort. It is helpful to step back, to attempt to capture the larger view, to not focus on any individual trait or specific act, to simply absorb truth and allow it to create in us a calm sense of knowing and the peace it will bring. We have learned that narcissism shares the four basic fundamental traits of the psychopath and only differ by degree. They are not sympathetic, they are not empathetic, they do not experience guilt or remorse. Hence, their ability to objectify others to the extent that these people are dehumanized. While we tend to focus on the psychological damage they cause, we find the physical trauma they can deliver to be frightening in its scope and severity. Munchausen syndrome is a mental disorder in which a person acts as if or pretends to be sick or in pain or dying, whatever it takes to be the victim, while controlling and manipulating everyone around them into becoming caregivers. Apparently, hypochondriacs do exist, but they are pretty much annoying but harmless. Munchausen by proxy is, however, another matter. In this case, a mother or caregiver, typically a female in 93% of cases, causes bodily harm to a dependent child to the extent that a constant state of medical intervention is required. Poisoning the child, feeding the child chemicals to cause vomiting or diarrhea, all the while appearing as a long-suffering saint. The average age of diagnosis in these cases was 4 years old, with 75% under 6 years old. 6% of the affected children died, with 25% of known siblings dead. We are contemplating a living nightmare perpetrated on the most innocent among us. Do we ask ourselves, how can this be? How can they do what they do? What drives them to commit unspeakable acts? Stand back, take the larger view, consider the behaviors of the perpetrator, and you will see the truth. They obviously possess zero empathy or sympathy for their own child. The abuse may go on for years, with the little victims often experiencing brain damage and stunted growth if they survive at all. Years of ongoing abuse would certainly indicate a lack of guilt or remorse. The behaviors displayed would point to a clear description of a psychopathic narcissist, being the center of attention, in a sense presenting as the real victim, the dedicated, long-suffering, nobody understands my pain perpetrator of madness. We connect the dots, the puzzle pieces fit, an image appears, and we see yet another expression of psychopathic narcissistic traits in the guise of the destruction of children, simply to create a mask of victimhood. While evil may not exist as a supernatural force, and some may argue with this, expressions of evil are all that we have, but that is enough to judge and condemn and realize that evil does, in every sense of the word, exist and must be reckoned with.